Hey, welcome to today's live broadcast. Today I'm broadcasting live from the beautiful state of Georgia, here visiting a couple of my girlfriends, and we're doing a little business strategy and goal setting for 2020. If you are new to my YouTube channel, I always ask that you take a second to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell notification so you'll be notified when I do go live and or upload new content. If you're also new to this channel, I like to take a second to just introduce myself. My name is Diane, and I have been practicing intermittent fasting and living a keto-like lifestyle for the last 4 or 5 years, really reversing some of the signs of aging that I was not happy with, and now I teach that same lifestyle to other women going through the same aging process. I always ask that if you're jumping on live with us or coming back around to the rebroadcast, that you do take a second to hit me up in the comment section. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and if you have any questions or comments about any of the information that I'm sharing today, please put those in the comments. I always like to go back around after I finish my discussion and introduce everyone and welcome you to our discussion, whether you're joining us live or on the rebroadcast. So always feel free to go ahead and leave a comment. So today I'm going to be talking about 3 intermittent fasting benefits while traveling. And I know a lot of people feel very threatened or nervous about fasting while they're traveling, and I'm hoping today to calm a little bit of your nerves about that and really give you an action plan to take away in case your life does revolve around traveling, maybe for work or you do traveling for social. The 3 big benefits that I really do like to lean into when I'm traveling and incorporating intermittent fasting are less stress while traveling, 2, the cost-saving benefits of fasting while traveling, and 3 is really helping your body heal or relieve some of the actual physical stress that occurs when we are out of our normal element or are traveling to new types of areas. So I fasted on my way here to Georgia from Texas. I fasted for 24 hours. So I fasted from the night before, and I kept myself in a fasted state all through my travel day up until we actually had dinner plans with my friends. The one thing to keep in mind when you're traveling is so many things about nutrition are out of your control. So when you're incorporating a fasting window that's longer, or maybe just a fasting window that is appropriate for the time in which you are in transit, it really will help you adjust to the area in which you're going. And it will help you keep yourself in a conscious state of making just better choices in an unfamiliar area. I want to share with you guys what my experience was in route to Georgia and what I had to go through to get from point A to point B. And I always like to keep in mind and remind other people as well that travel is for literally getting yourself from one location to another. Travel is not a social opportunity to introduce foods just because they're around or in abundance. So the airport's triggers for food should not be the reason that you are engaging in feasting opportunities when maybe they weren't in your plan. Yes, they're everywhere. Yes, they seem like they're convenient, but they can be that thing that's going to really throw you off track because you're not remembering why you're traveling. Traveling is to get us from point A to point B. It is not an opportunity to feast out of the norm. So I left my house in the morning. I had my 25 ounces of water, as I usually do. I stopped at Starbucks, got myself a black coffee, which I usually do in my fasted state. And then I just went about my travel business. I got on my plane and I said no thank you, like I always recommend as well when you're on a plane, to the flight attendant who came down the aisle offering me cookies and pretzels and drinks. Cookies and pretzels and drinks are not the norm for me in the morning. And so just because someone was offering something free to me didn't mean that it was the right choice for me at the time. And it would have put me in a situation where I was eating food that was not in my control, and I was eating food that was out of my norm. So my body would have probably had a negative reaction to that, and then I would have gone into my travel trip not looking and feeling my best. So I have a strict policy of don't bring it, meaning don't have food readily available to you when you're traveling. Don't buy it. So don't get sucked into all of the food opportunities that you have at the airport, and then don't accept it. So when someone is walking down the aisle on the airplane and they're offering you free pretzels and free cookies, just look them in the eye and with a big old smile and say, no, thank you. Those are not the things that are part of your normal routine. You do not have to take advantage of them just because they are free. So I got on the plane, I said no thank you to the flight attendant, I got off the plane, I got through the airport, and I got to my hotel, and I knew I had dinner plans, so I set myself up for my break fast with dinner with my girlfriends. And let me tell you, when we got to dinner, we had an amazing dinner. We ate abundantly and we ate very well, and I slept like a rock, and I woke up this morning feeling fantastic. We want to keep in mind when we're traveling or when we're getting out of our normal element, the one thing we don't want to do is wake up in a place that's not familiar to us, not looking and feeling our best. We want to make sure that we are on our game and that we're using energy opportunities and really having the opportunity to be our best when we are out of our norm. And if we get sucked into a lot of the food opportunities and a lot of the freebies that are offered to us en route, then oftentimes what happens is you come back from a trip, whether it's business or pleasure, and you feel like you have to take another trip to recover from being away from home. Really take advantage of food not being readily available to you when you are in a travel situation. So you want to make sure you take advantage of the benefit of traveling is just easier when you're not having to be stressed out about finding opportunities for food, meaning you have to sit at a restaurant or wait in a long line waiting for your food. You can be really efficient through the airport. You want to make sure that you are taking advantage of the cost effectiveness of fasting while you're traveling. Airport food is generally very expensive, and you don't want to add that extra expense to your travel. So avoiding that opportunity of spending that money is another great benefit. And then 3, making sure that when you get to your destination, whether again it's business or pleasure, that you do really have the opportunity to take advantage of the energized sense of calm, and that you're not beat down by food that is not part of your norm. So you don't want to wake up at the place that you're going not looking and feeling your best and really being fatigued. Another great thing about intermittent fasting, and a bonus advantage or benefit, is that when you're traveling through time zones, even if it's just an hour difference from your normal time, intermittent fasting is really that thing that will help you reset your own circadian rhythm. So intermittent fasting is one of those things that you can do if you're traveling through time zones and you're going to a place that's going to be off of your normal sleeping pattern or your normal eating pattern. The best advice I can give you is just stay in a fasted state until you reach whatever the normal time to sleep or eat is in your new destination. And it will also help you balance out time zone changes and a lot of jet lag if you're traveling into a place that's several hours of time difference as well. So ease of travel is the first benefit, cost effectiveness is the third, and then the last one is just really making sure that you have an opportunity to show up as your best self and not be bogged down by food that your body is just not accustomed to eating. And then the fourth and bonus benefit is really being able to reset your circadian rhythm if you're going to a place that is in a different time zone from you. So I live this lifestyle all the time. It is just how I manage my day. So traveling and fasting for me is the norm. I use travel and fasting as an opportunity to really take advantage of a longer fasting window. So if I'm fasting 20 hours at home and I have an opportunity through a travel day to really extend my fast beyond that 20 hours, I always take advantage of that. Remember, when you're sitting on a plane and food is not readily available, or if you're in a new location and food isn't readily available to you, you don't have a means to go get food, when in doubt, always fast it out and take advantage of some extra hours of fasting that you can build into your day. So that's my take on fasting and traveling. I love it. I do think that it does make travel so much fun and so much easier when you're not preoccupied about where you're going to get your next fix of a meal, and you can really simplify what it is that you're doing in your travel day, and it makes travel really fun and less stressful. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Trisha, can you hand me my iPad right there? I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions and comments. So if you haven't left a comment yet, make sure you get a comment in that comment section. I'll take the next 10 or 15 minutes answering questions or comments from you guys. And then, as always, I like to ask you to please take a second to hit that email subscription link right there. We notify everyone when we're launching our next Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course through our email list. We have a course offered every month. So if you haven't been a student of ours yet, make sure that you get on that email list. We'll let you know when we have our next course starting. Fasting and traveling and being comfortable in a state of fasting and really having the opportunity to heal your body is what I teach in our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. So if you travel for business or you travel for pleasure and you do find that you are bogged down by the foods in a new place, or you're feeling stressed out about where to find food in an airport, taking the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course will really help you build the foundation so that you can be free of all that stress and hassle of always needing food or being preoccupied about food, and you can get yourself through a travel experience pretty effortlessly by just incorporating a fasting opportunity for yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump on here to YouTube, and like I said, I'll welcome everyone and answer any questions or comments. And I'd also like to take a second to welcome all of our January 2020 Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman students. Congratulations on doing something really good for yourself and jumping in with both feet and being very proactive about your health and well-being as you're going through this aging process. And then I also like to take a second to welcome everyone who is joining us for our Midlife Mindset Shift course. We're gonna have 3 months together really working on changing our mindset so that we can finally be successful at what it is that we say we want for ourselves, our health, and our well-being. So let me see who's here today. Margaret from Washington State, welcome. It's always good to have you with us. Catherine, hello from Utah. Jerry from Michigan. Ann from Louisiana. Dana from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So excited to be in your course. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to have you with us. Make sure that you leave a comment in your community for me, and make sure you tag me so that I can say hello to you personally. Colleen, just jumping on, thanks for joining us. I think you said this is something you use. Yeah, I always fast and travel for sure. It just makes travel so much easier for me. And then from, we have South Holland, Illinois with us. We have Florida in the house. Amy from Oregon is here. And then Devon, Happy New Year, Diane and Michael. I've been 20-hour fasting every day this year. This was one of my focus goals for 2020, and I'm committed to following through. Yes, for sure. The best way to get involved in intermittent fasting is just make the decision that whatever it is that you have been doing for you that you're not happy with is not working, and consider trying something new. There is a learning curve, of course, with intermittent fasting, which is why we have the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. But once you get in and you really make the commitment that this is going to be your new way of life, it is a great way of life to live, and time and consistency will prove that to be true. Brenda from North Carolina was a July and August 2019 grad. Thanks for jumping on with us today. Susan from Florida, December 2018 and F3 2019 grad. I think about the fact that they offer the free snacks, but we really already paid for it. I don't want to pay for it twice. Yeah. And you know, there's always a price to pay for something that's free. And I always encourage, when you're taking something that you're not used to in any sort of form of food, always make sure you're really familiar with those ingredients labels. If you actually stopped and read the ingredients label on that little free pretzel packet or that free little package of cookies, you would be shocked at how processed those foods are. And if you have been really diligent about keeping those type of ingredients out of your body and you put them in because someone was so graciously offering them to you for free on a flight, then you get to your destination and you feel like you just kind of had your feet knocked out from under you. And we deserve better for that. We deserve better than that when we're traveling, especially when we're on vacation. You know, the last thing we want to do when we've worked really hard to earn a vacation and chart out time to go and relax is to get to a destination and then not feel and look our best. So be very careful about those things and make sure you're reading ingredients labels on those as well. And then Susan from Florida, I think I did that one already. So Anise from Geneva is here. Michael and Anna Mary going to Israel this year. I hope fasting will help with jet lag. Oh, for sure it will help with jet lag. It will totally reset your body. My advice is when you're traveling that big of a time zone change is to make sure that you adjust your schedule to the time in which you're at. So make sure you keep yourself awake if you land in the morning, and then postpone your feasting time until you get to like a dinner time there, and I promise you, you will get back. So my philosophy is as soon as I get into travel mode, I start fasting, and I don't end my fast until I actually reach my destination and acclimate myself to that time zone. So if that helps you adjust what you're going to do when you get to Israel, definitely incorporate that as well. And then Jen, hello. Margaret, I have neck pain on a regular basis. Do you find intermittent fasting helps with pain? Yeah, a lot of times that joint kind of pain is due to inflammation. And the one thing that intermittent fasting really does help with your body is reduce inflammation. So any kind of pain that you can't really find the root cause for is generally linked back to inflammation. And we know that inflammation now is also the root cause of most major diseases that we have to deal with today. So I would definitely recommend intermittent fasting for that joint pain as well. And then Janine, September 2019, and Mindset Shift grad, repeating the Mindset Shift course now and the F3 as well. Looking forward to making big changes in 2020 and living my most authentic life. Diane and Michael, thank you for leading the way. Girlfriend, thank you for trusting us with you for sure. I love when you guys go back and revisit courses as well, which is why we give you the opportunity to do that. So this information is information that should be repeated on a daily basis, because oftentimes when life happens, we forget what good things were working for us and we go back to our old ways. So changing your mindset about things and revisiting things that were working for you is always what I recommend. So congratulations to you for taking the initiative on that one. And then Miriam from Texas, I'm fasting daily 23 hours since January 1st. So far, so good. Well, girlfriend, you're like 6 days in, so that's awesome. Definitely keep it up and know that time and consistency will make that easier for you as well. And then Lisa from Central Illinois, thank you for jumping on with us. Heather, I travel a few times a year. I'll get fasting a go in February. Yeah, for sure. Hydration's key. Make sure you take an empty water bottle to the airport and then fill your water bottle while you're there, and then make sure you get some coffee if that's what you usually do in your fasted state. And then the best thing to do is just not preoccupy yourself with food, and make food that thing that you really realize that you have to put an effort in to incorporate when you're out of your norm. So don't put the effort in, is what I say. So I don't put any effort in to food in any way when I'm traveling, and it really does help me just get myself through the airport and through a travel experience with not being preoccupied about food. And then Colleen, you have mentioned the course. How do we sign up for the course? Colleen, make sure you get on our email list for sure. There's a link in the description, and there's a link for the email list going through the comment section as well. So just go ahead and join our email list, and then what we do is we start emailing you when we start getting ready for registration for the next launch of our course. We do run a course every month. It's generally the first Saturday of every month, but getting on our email list will get you into the loop for sure. And then Holly skipped my question, trying to figure out what good sleep is, percentage and heart rate. Holly, we'll do that in another live discussion where we can focus on that topic specifically, and then I'll get those questions answered for you as well. So Michael, if you'll do me a favor, can you copy Holly's comment, and then we'll put that on one of the topics that we discuss in one of our future lives for sure. And then Yesbrum, hello from New York. Is it recommended to fast when working out with weights as well as cardio? Recommended is one of those things I don't really like to get into in these discussions because I don't know enough personal information about you. But working out in a fasted state is very beneficial, and it all just depends on how your mindset is about working out and what level of fasting you're in and how you're going to accommodate how that feels to you, because working out in a fasted state does feel different than working out in a feasted state as well. So that's my topic for today. Travel and fasting is absolutely amazing. It makes travel so easy, it makes travel so inexpensive, and it will allow you an opportunity to really experience the energized sense of calm when you get to your actual destination. Remember, travel doesn't take a whole lot of energy. There's no real need for us to feast up when we're sitting on an airplane for several hours doing nothing. So don't worry about the fact that you might even go a little bit longer in your fasted state when you're traveling. Remember, you're not expending any extra calories. You're actually very, very sedentary, and your body will thank you for that extra fasting time. How do we break 20 hours fasting? Girlfriend, there's so many videos that I've done about breaking a fast, and I do teach that in my course as well. So if you have questions or concerns about how to break a fast when you are practicing intermittent fasting, I highly recommend getting on our email list, jumping into our course, or going back and reviewing some of the other videos that I have in my intermittent fasting playlist. So I'm gonna let you guys go a little early today. I'm gonna jump back in with my friends for sure and enjoy the rest of the afternoon of our goal setting experience here in Georgia. Thank you so much for jumping on. You guys know I appreciate the fact that you are taking time out of your day to spend time with me. And I will jump back on with you guys Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I'll be back in the beautiful state of Texas and bringing you another topic about intermittent fasting. Again, if you want to get on our email list, there's a link in the comment section and in the description box of this YouTube video. I would love to have you in our next course that's going to be starting in February. Always remember that the decisions that you make are your decisions, and always remember to fast long, feast well, and train smart. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.